Hi there, and welcome to this week's edition of Top End Track Talk. I'm Andrew O'Toole, and today we'll be previewing day one of the Great Northern Darwin Cup Carnival, Darwin Guineas Day, the 8th of July. The first of 8 big days of racing is certainly one to get our teeth into, with a bumper 10-race card featuring the first leg of the $50,000 Darwin Double for the 3-year-olds. Originally 9 races were carded, but the 0 to 58 1300, which had 31 nominations, has been divided to give us the double figures. The first, the Darwin Racing Handicap, is an average benchmark event over 1600 metres. It's time to get underway at the early time of 12:13 p.m, and my numbers are 2, 5 and 4. Number 2, Chaotic, of course he ran second in the Darwin Cup last year. He resumed here in Darwin with a really good run for second behind Iron Edge. That was on the 24th of June over 1300. The step to the mile certainly suits him. Neil Dyer trains, Aaron Sweeney in the saddle. I've got him on top. To beat number 5, Venting. Last start winner for Kerry Petrick, Paul Denton aboard. He's up in grade, Venting. He was good getting home the other day. Didn't sort of hit the line with any massive gusto, but he was too strong, the better stayer, and he'll race well again. And in for third, number 4, Eureka's Victory, backing up from a 4th placing last week. In the first, my numbers are 2, 5 and 4. The second, the Tab Bets Friends Handicap, is over the 1600 metres as well. It's for the 0 to 66 gallopers. Numbers here are 3, 6 and 5. Number 3 on top here, Envenomate from the Dick Leach stable, and in the saddle is Jared Todd. He's first run at a mile this time. That's probably the only question mark for me, but he's run here on the 1st of July a week ago behind Throw It to Stumps. I thought was good, and if he handles the step up and trip, he'll be hard to beat. Number 3, ahead of number 6, Qualis. Couldn't have been more impressive in winning over this trip last time out for Sheila Arnold and Mark Pegas. He retains the mount. Must be hard to beat again. In for third, number 5, Mangione. For Kerry Petrick, Paul Denton takes the mount. Third here on the 24th of June, behind Venting. He's a consistent galloper, and he should be right in the money as well. In the second, numbers 3, 6 and 5. We go to the third, the TRT Off the Track Handicap. This over the 1300. This is the first division of the 58 1300. Of course, as I mentioned, we divided this race. My numbers here are 1, 10 and 2. Wilson's Prom from the stable of Gary Clark, Jared Todd aboard. He was second first up the other day behind Lucky Fortuna. That was his first run for quite some months. Certainly should be improved by that. He goes up and trip, which will help him. I've got him on top, number 1. Ahead of number 10, Scout's Honour from the stable of Kim Healy, and Yanis Luxemon takes the mount here. He raced well in Alice Springs. He's fresh up here, but I think he can go well in that state. Got him in to run second, and in for third, number 2, Del Viento. Had a run here on the 24th of June. That was first up. Should be improved for that run. And Stan Sakos takes them out here for Chloe Baxter. Numbers in the third are 1, 10 and 2. We go to the fourth, the Silks Darwin Handicap, the second division of the 58 1300. Numbers are 2, 7 and 3. Equal Balance was really good last week, finishing second to Hard to Excel. Goes up and trip here. Mark Pegas retains the mount for Kim Healy. The only downside is a awkward barrier draw of 11, but I think he's good enough to overcome it. In for second, number 7, Bel Suono, Jared Todd for Gary Clark. He drops back and trip. He was 1600 metres last time and finished third. He's had 3 weeks between runs, so I think he'll be fresh enough to run the 1300 here. Got him in for second, and my third selection, number 3, Boogie Nights, Adam Nichols for Heather Lehman. He was third here 2 weeks ago. Drops and trip, but going well. Numbers in the fourth are 2, 7 and 3. We go to the fifth, the BTC Constructions Handicap. This is the 0 to 76 over the 1300 metres, a field of 7 to go round here, and my numbers are 4, 3 and 1. Kerrioth from the stable of Dick Leach, and to be ridden by Sonia Wiseman, I think it's hard to beat. Last start second was in Alice Springs behind Liberty Blue. Raced well down there during the carnival, and I think he can get back to winning ways here, number 4. Ahead of his stablemate, number 3, Early Crow. Stan Sakos aboard. He's fresh. His last start was in the Pioneer Sprint, but he raced similarly to Kerrioth, raced really well during the carnival in Alice, and I've got him in for second. And my third selection, a newcomer to Darwin, number 1. He's the Ultimate from the stable of Chloe Baxter. Paul Shires aboard. He's got pretty good form in Queensland to recommend. They're really interested to see him step out on Saturday. Numbers in the fifth are 4, 3 and 1. Halfway through the card, we go to race 6, the Betfair Fillies and Mares Handicap, over the 1200 for the 0 to 62 Fairer Sex, and my numbers here are 4, 1 and 7. Afternoon tea, racing superbly well for Phil Cole. Emma Lyons gets on well with this 5-year-old mare. She's won 2 of her last 3 with Emma in the saddle. She's won at this trip before. Up in grade, sure, but I think will be hard to beat again. Number 4. ahead of one Real Divine, Kerry Petrick and Paul Denton the combo. Won 2 starts back in Alice, then third here the other day in the top end, racing really consistently. And in for third, number 5, Lucky Fortuna. Won here a fortnight ago for Heather Lehman. Adam Nichols in the saddle. And beat Wilson's Prom then. If Wilson's Prom comes out and wins earlier in the day, you can be pretty sure that Lucky Fortuna will race well. Numbers in the 6th are 4, 1 and 5. We go to the 7th, the Cleanaway Handicap. This is the open sprint over the 1100 metres, our smallest field of the day with just the 5 runners. Numbers here are 2, 1 and 4. Expert Witness resumes after his great run for second in the Pioneer Sprint. Paul Shires goes aboard here. He ran 2 beauties in Alice Springs, in fact 3 beauties. He won first up, then 2 second placings. He'll be hard to beat first up, excuse me. Ahead of number 1, Sincline, from the stable of Gary Clark, last year's Palmerston winner, of course. Jared Todd takes the mount here. He was second first up behind Ideas Man recently. Ideas Man's come out and won again since, so he'll run well again, even with the 61.5 kilograms. And number 4, I'm a Legend. In for third, Janis Luxemon for Kim Healy. Numbers in the 7th, 2, 1 and 4. We go to the 8th now, which is the Bet365 Handicap. This over the 1100 metres for the 0 to 70 sprinters. Numbers here are 1, 9 and 5. I think Mr. Cashman can get back to winning ways here. Get me tongue out. Jared Todd for Gary Clark has had a little freshen up. Hasn't raced since the 3rd of June. Finished third on that occasion behind Great Diviner. He's quality on his day, Mr. Cashman. This looks a winnable race to me. Number 1 on top, ahead of 9, Swing with Junior from the Chloe Baxter stable. Adam Nichols aboard. Drops back in trip. I don't think that will worry the mare. And in for third, number 5, Star Magnum. Really good winning last time out for Emma Lyons. Emma's on again. Speedy Conveyance, drawn wide, so I'll have to do a bit of work early in the piece, but should still run well. Numbers in the 8th are 1, 9 and 5. We go to the feature. The Darwin Guineas, 75,000 up for grabs, 1,600 metres for the 3-year-olds. Really, really good field engaged here. And my numbers are 2, 7, 8 and 5. The Alice Springs Guineas winner, Century Fox, is my selection here for the Darwin Guineas. He has obviously won at a mile before. He also ran 5th in the Alice Springs Cup against the older horses. And he resumed here the other day, the 24th of June, in fine style, winning over 1,300. Paul Shires takes the mount on Century Fox for Dick Leach. Paul chasing, would you believe, his 10th Darwin Guineas. He's won 9 of them. So could get the double figures up on Saturday. In fact, I think he will. Century Fox on top for me, number 2, ahead of number 7, and that is I Know What You're Doing from the Alice Springs stable of Kevin Lamprick. Mark Pegas aboard. He was third to Century Fox the other day. Hit the line hard. The mile should suit him. He's drawn to get a nice run just in behind them, and I can see him finishing strongly. Got him into run second. In for third, number 8, Perusio. Missed the jump in the same race behind Century Fox the other day and did a tremendous job to run so close in 4th. Adam Nichols rise for Kerry Petrick, and my 4th selection, number 5, Danaher. He won well here the other day over 1,200 metres. That was the 10th of June, so he's had 4 weeks between runs, but Kevin Lamprick knows what he's doing with his 3-year-olds, and with all horses in fact, and Janis Luxemon takes the mount here. In the Guineas, my numbers are 2, 7, 8 and 5. Go to the last, the Ladbroke 3-year-old handicap. This also for the 3-year-olds. This is the 0 to 64 over the mile for those horses that didn't get a run on the Guineas and may be looking to go to the Derby in a fortnight's time. Numbers here, 6, 5 and 1. Bluffed for me, the maiden, trained by Pete Stennett. Good to see Pete with a winner the other week with Kent Street. Sonia Wiseman aboard here on Bluffed, has drawn the inside gate. I think the mile will suit him. He's a consistent type. He's run some good placings in some decent fields recently behind Danaher and Century Fox. Deserves a winning turn. Number 6. Head of number 5, Ultron. That was our roughie of last week and finished a good third. Alice Lindsay aboard for Nicole Irwin. I can see the trip being right up this horse's alley. In for third, number 1, Grinzinger Bishop. A newcomer to Darwin in the stable of Kim Healy, so a visitor. Mark Pegas aboard. Had a quiet trial here on Tuesday, and I think the 1,600 metres will suit. So in the last, 6, 5 and 1. Best bet of the day, we're going in the Guineas. Race 9, number 2, Century Fox to take out the Darwin Guineas. And our best roughie on a desperately difficult day. By crikey, it's a tough day. Race 6, number 7, Zuriski. Race 6, number 7, Zuriski. Well, that wraps up this edition of Top End Track Talk. We'll be back again same time next week for day 2 of the carnival, which is Asian United Food Service Chief Minister's Cup Day. Always a good day on the calendar. And until then, good luck and good punting.